Denmark is the happiest country in the world and provides extensive cradle-to-grave welfare. Hygge is a concept that defines Danish culture. What makes the Danes some of the happiest people in the world? How do they maintain a healthy work-life balance? Let's learn more about the Danish lifestyle with Thomas Lehmann, the ambassador of Denmark to South Korea and a bridge between Denmark and Korea.
Today's guest is from Denmark, the world's happiest nation. Ambassador Thomas Lehmann of Denmark to Korea, thank you so much for joining us here on Heart to Heart.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. 안녕하세요. And hello to everyone in the Arirang world. I'm really proud to be on your show.
Okay, once again, thank you very much for joining us. Now, Denmark and Korea have long maintained friendly relations, especially with next year celebrating the 60th anniversary of Danish-Korean diplomatic relations. Now, I heard that a lot of efforts are being made to commemorate the special year, so could you please tell us about that?
Denmark, Korea, we go back a long time, as you say, and 60 years celebration is very significant. Mm-hmm. And to be 60 in Denmark is just as significant as in Korea, a turn of a life cycle.
Yes.
So that, I think, holds very big symbolism and makes it that more special. And for that reason, we have decided that 2019 will be a year of culture. Not only celebrating Danish culture in Korea, but just as much celebrating Korean culture in Denmark. So promoting each other's cultural heritage in our country. That will be the main message. So I'm sure it will be a wonderful experience for everyone. We are working very hard, and we are looking very much forward to this celebration.
Now, as I did mention earlier in the opening of our program, I did mention that Denmark is known to be the happiest nation in the world. But in addition to that, it's known to have its extensive and generous cradle-to-grave welfare. So please tell us about the key welfare policies in Denmark.
Well, Denmark has for generations been and is also today a welfare state. Mm-hmm. And that is the government supplies a whole variety of welfare services and welfare benefits to the people. It also means that it's financed through taxes. Mm-hmm. So welfare and tax in our view of the world goes hand in hand. Mm-hmm. And if you ask people in the street, are they happy to pay tax? The answer will generally be yes, because they know that you get something good out of your tax money and a lot of social benefit. Mm-hmm. Denmark is also, and I think because of our welfare system with a strong security net, a very equal society. People are not only treated equally, but there's also a high degree of equality, non-discrimination, and so on in Denmark.
I guess all of this leads to happiness. Of course, happiness is subjective. Happiness varies from person to person. We all have our own needs and desires and a different definition of happiness. But obviously, Danes are very, very happy. So what do you think makes the vast majority of Danes stay so happy? How do they live such happy lives?
Well, I think part of it is because of our welfare heritage.
I see, yes.
Because basically it creates a security for people that makes them less worrisome. So I think that basis gives a security, less stressful day for most Danes, so they can enjoy and do other things. And there comes also the work-life balance. We also have flexible ways, usually, of spending our work time at work. And I think that creates opportunities for families to be together.
I see.
And it's an important part of being happy, being relaxed.
Yes.
Also the fact that people trust each other.
Yes, it sounds like a wonderful place to be. So, I mean, you've mentioned many of the things that people usually are very stressed about. You mentioned, children's education. It's all about, it's not just about where you want to send your child or children. It's all about the costs as well. So definitely sounds like a paradise. Now, Denmark is also the epicenter of the cozy lifestyle.
Yes.
Called, I hope I pronounce this correctly, Hygge.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hygge.
Hygge. Mm-hmm. Could you please tell us about Hygge and how we can actually bring Hygge into our life?
Yes. I mean, the most direct translation of Hygge is coziness.
Coziness.
And the basic meaning of the word here in our sense of it is that you are together. It's a sense of togetherness, that you are spending time, quality time, with friends, with family, and do things that you like to do. So hygge is not something you go in a shop and buy. It's something that you enjoy being together with other people.
Yes.
And that, I think, Danes are very good at. If I just should mention one area where usually we enjoy hygge, is when we sit around a table and enjoy a meal. Spending time around a meal, also spending time preparing for that meal, is, I think, very much hygge. And I want to give you here, because hygge has also become very trendy in Korea. So this is actually a cookbook.
Oh, it's a cookbook.
It's a cookbook in Korean about how you can make your dishes in a nice hyggelig way.
Hyggelig way.
So this is for you, Jennifer.
Thank you very much. Wow. I'm going to check this out definitely when I get home today.
Yes, there are some very nice dishes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful gift. Along with the book, you've brought a very, very nice tea set with you from home. And I understand, I heard that the furniture, all your furniture at home and the decor are actually all from Denmark.
Yes. Denmark is very well known for our design. We have a very long tradition for our design. And these cups are just part of it. They may have been hand-painted for generations, but they still keep to the old traditions. And this is one of my favorite items when it comes to kitchenware. Denmark has, for a very long time, have a tradition of being at the forefront in design.
Yes.
And it's based on our tradition of craftsmanship. That we had people, entrepreneurs and innovative people working with their hands and creating things that are still very sought after today.
Yes.
Because the style of our design is that it should be simple, functional, and also timeless. So even though many of these design icon products have been created maybe 50, 60 years ago, still they hold a very big place in many people's lives today. So that's a characteristic. And that characteristic has also been brought into architecture.
Yes, architecture.
Because architecture is also a DNA of Denmark. Let me just mention the iconic Sydney Opera, designed and built by a Danish famous architect, Jørgen Utzon. And if you travel to Copenhagen, you will see a lot of interesting architecture.
Yes.
How can architecture also show itself from a sustainable, green and environmental way is something that Danish architects are pioneering.
Now, if we could maybe talk about the work-life balance a bit more.
Yes.
You've mentioned
Yes.
work-life balance. So work-life balance is actually one of the hottest keywords in Korea
Yes.
right now for
Yes.
2018.
Yes.
And I guess work-life balance and hygge, share some similarities.
Yes.
So what do you think about the work-life balance, I guess, the sensation that's been hitting Korea?
Yes. Well, I mean, to enjoy hygge, you need a good work-life balance. You need time to enjoy hygge. You need time to sit down with your friends and family. And I think it's wonderful that this is also making its way into the Korean mindset. Koreans have been known for the most hardworking people on this planet,
Yes.
working the absolute most hours.
Yes.
And I think you can be very proud of the achievements that Korea have made. But there are also other things in life than sitting behind a desk or standing at an assembly line, working very hard. I think all of that can add up to bringing the work-life balance concept really, truly to Koreans.
Yes.
And I'm sure you will embrace it.
I agree with you 100%. But, maintaining a good balance between work and life, it's actually easier said than done.
I know.
And I know that you, especially since coming to Korea in 2014, you've worked very, very hard.
Yes.
So how do you personally
Yes.
balance work and life?
Well, that's a very good question, Jennifer. And yes, I mean, to be ambassador in this country and with the level of activity that we do and the many issues we work on, Denmark, Korea, that makes my average workday very long.
Yes.
But I also make a great priority into spending, let's say, a lot of quality time with my family. And then I'm privileged and blessed in the sense that I belong to a Danish welfare system, which also gives me a good deal of vacation. So I can spend very long holidays in one go and really come away from my work life and recharge my batteries.
Yes.
Because I believe that is very important to come back to work and be even more efficient.
Yes. So you've mentioned that you actively engage in various activities now, all in order to promote Denmark. And you do this through social media. And I understand that you've also made broadcast appearances. So speaking of which, we have received some questions via social media.
Yes.
So I'd like to take a look at the questions posted up by our viewers. Let's see. There will be many heads of states coming to Korea for the Pyeongchang Olympics.
Yes.
Who will be coming from Denmark? And also, will the ambassador be greeting our Danish athletes competing in the Winter Olympics?
Well, apart from our very proud athletes, where we will be having 17 of them, it's not a big team, but for Denmark, not being a big winter sport nation, it's actually quite good. It's the second largest team that we have sent to a Winter Olympic Games.
I see.
So we have some very good and very talented athletes. Unfortunately, our ice hockey team is not in Pyeongchang. But we will be playing South Korea and many other nations at the World Championship to be held in Denmark in May later this year.
Well, it's an opportunity for Koreans and people all around the globe to go to Denmark to watch. Yes.
So we're very excited about that. Ice hockey is a big sport in Denmark. And we'll, of course, be welcoming the very best of ice hockey players from all around the world.
Now, our next question is, could you recommend one beautiful place to visit? This is when someone visits Denmark.
Denmark,
yes, in Denmark. One beautiful place to visit, one traditional Danish dish, and maybe a Danish dessert people should try when in Denmark?
A beautiful place. There are many beautiful places. But if I should choose only one, it would be Copenhagen. Copenhagen, which is the capital city of Denmark. And the best way as a tourist to see Copenhagen is by taking a bike ride. Yeah, so either you rent a bike or you take one of the many city bikes and you bike around Copenhagen. Infrastructure for that is very well laid out. So it's very easy to get around, and that's really the best way to see Copenhagen. There is around just over 1 million people living in Copenhagen, so compared to Seoul, very small, but indeed very cozy, old, but also modern places to visit. About the dish, well, Denmark is very famous for our bread. And especially our rye bread. We do open sandwiches.
Open sandwiches.
So open sandwiches on a piece of rye bread, which can have any form of topping with a glass of beer, will be one of my recommendations.
Since we talked about, Hygge before, enjoying yourself just outdoors on a bike.
Yes, and you can come to Denmark during Christmas time. Beautiful. Beautiful because of all the Christmas lights, Christmas trees. And we have the tradition in Denmark at Christmas that the lights we put on our Christmas trees are candles.
They're candles?
So real candles on the Christmas tree, and I can just tell you the glow of these candles and the whole atmosphere that creates is absolutely wonderful.
Oh, sounds beautiful. So let's talk a bit about, since we mentioned bike riding.
Yes.
Denmark is also striving to lead the world in green growth these days, and I heard that bicycles are the primary means of transportation. And
in Copenhagen, at least.
Yes, in Copenhagen. And bikes have outnumbered cars.
Yes.
Is this in Copenhagen only?
In Copenhagen. In Copenhagen. And I use my bike when I'm in Copenhagen. When I go to work, I take my bike like every other person in Copenhagen. But we also have facilities for bicycling in Denmark. So in the city of Copenhagen, you will have special bicycle lanes. That are a little bit elevated from the street. So it's safe to ride. You don't ride in the streets with the cars, but you're next to. So it's very well organized. And you even have special street lights for bicycles. You even have, I think, fast lanes and more slower speed lanes for bicycles. So all very well organized. That is really the best way to enjoy also Copenhagen, to use the bike, because everything has been put into system to allow this to take place.
I'm not sure how it is in Korea, but I believe in many countries there are designated cars where you can take your bikes on the subway, and those are the only designated cars.
Yeah, but that will also be the case in Denmark. So designated train cars. And a lot of people in Copenhagen use that facility.
And I believe there are several designated cars.
So it's very, very efficient. And of course it means less cars on the street.
Yes.
It means less congestion in the city, which is good for people who have to drive their cars. But it's also good for air quality, that you have less cars.
Let's talk a bit more about green growth. Denmark has been setting world record wind energy production for years. So could you tell us about that as well?
Well, we have for many years been the world leader in producing wind energy. And the fact of the matter is that last year, almost 50% of our total electricity consumption was produced by wind energy.
Wow.
So we have a lot of wind turbines in Denmark. We have them on land, but specifically we had them out at sea, so offshore. And we built them very large and very efficient, and they can produce, as I said, a lot of electricity. And that is really the goal that Denmark as a nation wants to achieve. We want eventually, and we have set the goal of by 2050, that Denmark will be completely independent of fossil fuel.
I see.
So you will have a country, a nation, run by renewable energy. That's a very ambitious target, but we are slowly but steadily moving towards that. And that, I think, is also a showcase for the whole world.
Yes. Now, green energy and green growth is advocated in Korea, with many related policies actually taking effect. So what can Denmark and Korea actually do together to make our countries greener? Or you can specifically tell us about what Korea could do to make our country greener.
Well, we are already doing a lot. And actually, Denmark and Korea have formed a very special alliance. We call it the Green Growth Alliance. And we have had that for a number of years. And the basic concept of this alliance is that we work together, we share experiences, we share knowledge, and we define policies of where we want to go in our transition to a green economy. And yes, Denmark was a first mover on this platform. We were one of the first countries in the world that came out and set targets for renewable energy. But Korea has also shown in its own economic development how fast Korea can transform its society. And that's why this partnership is so beautiful, bringing together our shared knowledge. Then we also work together very closely in this institution organization that is called Global Green Growth Institute, GGGI, that is based in Seoul.
Yes.
Denmark was a founding member of that organization together with Korea. And there we partner up making green growth policies in developing countries. So we are doing a lot of things together, and we are making our influence known also on the world stage.
I see. Now I'd like to move on to perhaps it could be a personal question. I know that you have a beautiful 3-year-old daughter.
Yes.
Her name is Sophie.
Sophie.
Sophie Kim has worked relentlessly over the last 7 years to become the person she is today. Now that she has managed to accomplish her dreams, she's full of confidence and shining energy. We will be rooting for her in the future.
I'm not sure if you've heard of this term, but it's what we call 딸 바보. Have you heard? 딸 means daughter, and
Yes.
바보 means a foolish person or a stupid person. But if you actually put these words together, 딸 and 바보 together,
Yes.
that means a person, a mother or a father that's just
Yes.
crazy about their child, who
Yes.
loves their child so
Yes.
much. So have you ever been told by anyone that you were a 딸 바보? What do you think? Are
Well,
you a
I
딸
have been
바보?
told that because I am crazy about my daughter. She is my first child. And so she will always be a very, very special person. She was born in Korea,
Yes.
made in Denmark, born in Korea. That will also hold a very special bond to this great country. So I feel so fortunate that Sophie came to the world and blessed us with what she is. And I'm crazy about her.
So you are a 딸 바보. Now, you were appointed as the ambassador of Denmark to Korea in 2014, and your tenure has been extended by a year. This definitely speaks to your hard work and dedication. So what do you hope to accomplish during the remaining tenure?
Well, I feel very privileged to be given the opportunity to stay in Korea in a total of 5 years. Coming up next year is, of course, our 60 years celebration, which will be dedicated to a year of culture between Denmark and Korea. So that is really on top of my agenda these days. But also looking forward to go to Denmark and see what Korea will showcase of Korean culture in Denmark, because I know that there is such a big interest. And hopefully our cultural year will serve as a good opportunity to even improve our ties and make cases for more people to travel and to learn about our country. So we want this to be a long-lasting opportunity for us to create these strong relations that we enjoy between our two countries.
Yes. Aside from your goals, the goals you hope to accomplish as ambassador of Denmark to Korea, could you tell us about your personal plans?
Well, personal goals, I think for me as a family will be to continue to be a good husband, continue to be a good father for my daughter, and work-wise, well, I love the work I do. I've been in the diplomatic service for more than 25 years, working for Denmark, working for creating partnerships, opportunities, building relations with people of other countries. So I hope to continue for many, many more years in the diplomatic service of Denmark because I enjoy it. And I feel that I'm actually pretty good at what I do.
I'd like to thank you once again for joining us today on the show. I was able to really, truly, I guess, feel your passion for work and also for Sophie, your family, your wife, and I don't know. It's like you kind of spread the happy virus or a very positive...
Some vibes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank you for your time once again. And
thank you very much.
We hope that you make many wonderful memories while you are here in Korea, and best of luck to all of your hopes and goals you hope to accomplish.
Well, thank you very much, Jennifer, for having me on your show. And I can say that I enjoy every single day in Korea. It's a fantastic country, fantastic people. I'm full of admiration of what you have achieved, but also of this people that is so open-hearted and so welcoming in every single way in life.
Oh, thank
so
you so
I
much.
enjoyed so much. Thank you very much.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.